Nearly 70% of women in midlife say they feel exhausted at bedtime, yet their body stays wired tense and refuses to settle. And almost 1 in 3 suddenly wake up at 2 to 3 a.m., unable to drift back to sleep. What if the real problem isn't stress or overthinking, but a quiet hormonal change that blocks your body's off switch? There's a simple nighttime cup that helps your body relax deeply, naturally. I'm Dr. Eliza Hart, a board-certified obstetrician and gynecologist with over 15 years of experience, supporting women through perimenopause, menopause, and the hormonal shifts that silently reshape sleep. What many women don't realize is that as hormones change, the brain and nervous system lose some of the signals that allow the body to fully unwind at night, and this is why sleep routines that worked years ago suddenly stop working. Before we go any further, I'd love for you to become part of this growing community of women learning to care for their bodies with science and compassion. Please hit subscribe, comment, and let me know which country you're watching from so we can see how far this message is reaching across the world. And if you'd like to support this mission, help me reach the first 20,000 subscribers so I have even more motivation to create valuable content for you every week. Now let's talk about why your body resists sleep and the simple nighttime cup that can gently guide it back into balance. 1. Why your body won't shut down at night after 50. Before we explore the nighttime drink that can gently guide your body into deeper rest, it is important to understand why so many women reach bedtime feeling drained, yet their body behaves as if it is still in daytime mode. This is not a lack of discipline or simply a busy mind that refuses to quiet down. For many women in midlife and beyond, a biological shift is quietly altering the body's ability to transition into sleep, and recognizing this can be incredibly empowering. A key explanation lies in the gradual decline of progesterone. From the mid-40s onward, progesterone levels begin to drop, and by the post-menopausal years, they may be only a small fraction of previous levels. Beyond its reproductive role, progesterone acts as a natural neurorelaxant that influences the brain's primary calming neurotransmitter, GABA. GABA helps slow the nervous system, ease internal tension, and signal to the body that it is safe to release the day. As progesterone falls, GABA activity often decreases as well, leaving the nervous system more alert at night than it needs to be. This hormonal shift explains why many women feel a puzzling disconnect mentally. They are ready for sleep, yet physically, their body remains tense or switched on. A patient once shared that she could lie in bed exhausted, eyes closed, longing for rest, but her chest stayed tight and her breathing shallow, as if her body had not received the message that the day was over. Experiences like this are far more common than most women realize, and rather than turning inward with blame, it helps to understand that the body is responding to hormonal biology, not personal inadequacy. As the body's internal off switch becomes less responsive, evening routines that once required no thought now benefit from more intentional support. Many women unknowingly choose coping habits that backfire, like scrolling on their phones or watching stimulating shows late at night, hoping distraction will help them unwind, or relying on a glass of wine. Although alcohol may create temporary ease, it raises nighttime cortisol and disrupts deep sleep cycles, making rest lighter and more fragmented. When women begin viewing their evening restlessness as a physiological signal rather than a flaw, they create space for compassion and more effective solutions. The encouraging news is that there are natural ways to support the brain's calming pathways and help the body transition into restorative sleep. In the next part, we will explore a simple nighttime cup that has brought comfort to many women by gently preparing the body to settle into deeper rest. 2. The bedtime drink, Kava, for deep physical relaxation. Now that you understand why the body becomes more resistant to rest with age, it becomes easier to see why simply trying harder to sleep rarely works. The nervous system needs gentle guidance, and this is where a natural evening support can make a meaningful difference. One option that has gained attention for its ability to calm both the mind and the physical body is a traditional plant-based drink known as Kava. Kava has been used for centuries in certain Pacific Island cultures as part of evening rituals designed to promote a sense of ease, presence, and grounded relaxation. What makes Kava particularly relevant for women in midlife is the way it supports the body's internal calming mechanisms without forcing sedation or creating morning grogginess. Unlike many sleep aids that primarily target the mind, Kava has a unique ability to relax physical tension, which is often the missing piece for women who feel mentally tired but physically alert at bedtime. The key compounds in Kava, called cavalactones, interact with GABA-A receptors in the brain, the same calming pathway influenced by progesterone. When this pathway is gently supported, the nervous system can shift into a more peaceful state, allowing the muscles to soften and the breath to deepen. Many women describe the sensation not as being knocked out, but rather as a natural unwinding, as if the body finally receives permission to let go of the day. This physical relaxation becomes the doorway to deeper, more restorative sleep. Many women also appreciate its gentle, mood-soothing effect at the end of a long day. Kava also has another quality that many women find reassuring. It does not promote dependency. Unlike alcohol, which briefly soothes before raising nighttime cortisol and fragmenting sleep, Kava does not stimulate dopamine and does not encourage the cycle of craving or habitual reliance. For women who have used a nightly glass of wine as a coping mechanism to switch off, Kava offers a gentler and more supportive alternative. Kava is generally safe when used occasionally and in small amounts, but some countries limit high-dose extracts due to potential liver sensitivity. If you have liver conditions or take liver-metabolized medication, skip this option or speak with your doctor. Because of its grounding, body-soothing nature, many women find that Kava becomes a comforting part of their evening wind-down ritual, especially on nights when the body feels tense or overstimulated. In the following section, we will look at how this gentle support influences not only the ability to fall asleep, but the ability to remain asleep through the night, an area where many women continue to struggle despite feeling tired. 3. Sleep quality and staying asleep through the night. As helpful as it is to fall asleep with greater ease, most women will agree that the true challenge begins a few hours later, when the body suddenly shifts out of rest and the mind becomes alert again. Many describe a pattern in which they drift off without much difficulty, only to awaken around 2 or 3 a.m. with a sense of restlessness, warmth in the body, or a racing mind that feels impossible to quiet. This broken sleep is one of the most disruptive effects of midlife hormonal changes because it robs the body of the deeper stages of rest that repair tissues, balance mood, and regulate metabolism for the day ahead. One reason this happens is that nighttime cortisol can rise in women with lower progesterone, making the early morning hours a time of heightened internal activity rather than renewal. When the body cannot stay in a parasympathetic state, throughout the night sleep becomes fragmented, leaving women tired even after a full night in bed. This is where the gentle support of Kava can extend beyond the initial relaxation phase and help the nervous system maintain a calmer rhythm while you sleep. By easing physical tension and encouraging steadier GABA activity, Kava can support longer stretches of uninterrupted rest, allowing the body to move through natural sleep cycles more smoothly. Women who have incorporated a small cup into their wind-down routine often share that the most meaningful change was not just falling asleep faster, but feeling that their body stayed with them throughout the night. Instead of waking abruptly with a surge of alertness, they describe waking at a normal hour with a more grounded sense of energy, fewer aches, and greater emotional steadiness. It is this continuity of rest that allows the brain to perform memory processing, the body to repair, and hormones to recalibrate. If you are someone who frequently finds yourself awake during these early hours, I would love to hear about your experience. Share in the comments how often this happens to you and what you notice in your body when it does. Your experience may help another woman feel less alone, and the conversation we create together can guide future videos to support you more effectively. The encouraging part is that the body can relearn deeper sleep patterns when given consistent, gentle cues. And when nighttime feels supportive rather than unpredictable, women begin to reclaim confidence in their ability to rest. In the next section, we will look at another meaningful benefit that many women appreciate, especially during phases of emotional fluctuation and heightened sensitivity. The soothing effect on mood and stress levels that can help evenings feel more peaceful from the inside out. 4. Stress, mood, and emotional balance after menopause. While restful sleep is a crucial piece of well-being, many women also notice that evenings become emotionally heavier with age, even when they are not facing specific stressors. It can feel as though the heart and mind carry a subtle tension that builds throughout the day and becomes louder at night. This shift is not imagined. As estrogen and progesterone decline, the brain loses two natural supports that once helped regulate emotional balance, soften anxious thoughts, and provide a sense of inner steadiness. The result is that small concerns may feel amplified, resilience wanes, and emotional sensitivity increases, especially in the quiet of the evening. The nervous system is closely intertwined with hormonal health, and when hormones fluctuate, emotional patterns often shift as well. Progesterone has long been recognized for its calming influence on the brain, while estrogen helps regulate serotonin, the neurotransmitter linked to mood motivation and emotional clarity. As these hormones decrease, the stress response can strengthen, and the body may interpret ordinary daily interactions as more overwhelming than they once were. Many women find themselves feeling more reactive, more easily discouraged, or unexpectedly unsettled as bedtime approaches. This is where the gentle support of Kava can extend beyond sleep and provide comfort on an emotional level. Its calming interaction with GABA-A receptors not only helps the body unwind, but also brings a sense of groundedness that eases internal pressure. Women often describe feeling more centered, less emotionally on edge, and more capable of releasing the day. The goal is not to numb feelings or suppress emotions, but rather to create enough calm for the heart and nervous system to settle, so the evening can unfold with more peace. Many women find this emotional softening especially valuable during seasons of transition or increased life pressure. For women who have relied on a nightly glass of wine to soften their mood or take the edge off, this is particularly meaningful. Alcohol may create a brief sense of relief, yet it ultimately disrupts sleep architecture, raises nighttime cortisol, and often leaves the mind more fragile the next day. Kava provides a softer and more supportive alternative that aligns with the body's natural calming pathways rather than working against them. When emotional ease returns to the evening, it sets the tone for a restorative night and a more resilient morning. A calm nervous system is not a luxury. It is a biological foundation for hormonal balance and long-term well-being. In the next part, we will explore another important question many women ask before considering any form of evening support, whether this comforting ritual can be used without creating dependence or long-term reliance. 5. Is Kava addictive? The truth women should know. Whenever a new evening routine begins to improve sleep or emotional ease, it is natural for women to wonder whether this support might eventually lead to dependency. Many have had experiences with sleep aid supplements or even evening habits that initially seemed harmless, but slowly became something they relied on night after night. This concern is valid and deserves clear, honest guidance, especially for women who want to nurture their body rather than create new patterns of reliance. One of the reassuring aspects of Kava is that it does not interact with the dopamine reward system in the same way alcohol, sugar, or certain sleep aids do. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter responsible for reinforcing behaviors and creating cravings that make the brain seek repetition. When an evening habit stimulates dopamine, the brain begins to associate it with comfort, leading to a cycle of desire and dependency. Kava's calming effect works through GABA pathways instead, which support relaxation without triggering the reward loop that encourages habitual reliance. This makes it fundamentally different from substances that hook the nervous system into wanting more. Many women find this distinction reassuring, especially if they have had past experiences with habits that felt hard to break. Another point to consider is the intention behind its use. Kava works best when viewed as a gentle support to help the body remember how to transition into rest, not as a nightly requirement for sleep. When used with awareness, many women find that after several weeks of improved rest, their body begins to relearn the evening rhythm of unwinding more naturally. Instead of becoming dependent, they often feel more capable and confident in their ability to settle without external help, and may eventually use Kava only on nights when the body feels tense or overstimulated. However, as with any calming aid, mindful use is essential. Kava is generally safe when used occasionally and in small amounts, but it is not meant to replace the body's natural sleep-regulating mechanisms. It is a tool, not a solution to rely on indefinitely. Women with liver conditions or those taking liver-metabolized medications should avoid it unless advised by a healthcare professional, as concentrated extracts can add strain when used excessively. The most empowering way to approach Kava is to see it as a short-term ally, while the body resets its internal cues. Used respectfully, it can bridge the gap between restless nights and a more peaceful sleep rhythm, allowing the nervous system to regain balance. In the next section, we will explore simple ways to integrate this practice safely so it feels nourishing rather than obligatory and becomes one of several gentle tools that support your evening well-being. 6. How to use Kava safely and wisely at night. Once women understand how Kava supports relaxation, deeper sleep, and emotional balance, the next essential step is learning how to incorporate it gently and safely into an evening routine. A supportive ritual should feel nourishing, simple, and respectful of the body's natural rhythms, especially during midlife when the nervous system becomes more sensitive to external inputs. The goal is not to create another strict routine, but to introduce a calming practice that flows with your lifestyle and honors the shifts your body is experiencing. For most women, starting with a low dose is the wisest approach. A small warm cup about 30 to 45 minutes before bed is often enough to help the body soften into rest without overwhelming the system. Beginning with a mild tea, blend rather than a concentrated extract, allows the body to respond gradually, making it easier to observe how Kava affects your sleep tension levels and emotional ease. This gentle introduction helps you understand whether your body welcomes the support and whether the experience feels calming rather than sedating. Consistency rather than quantity is what creates the most meaningful shifts. Women who benefit from Kava often use it 2 to 4 nights per week rather than every night. This rhythm gives the nervous system time to integrate the calming effects without relying on it as the only pathway to relaxation. If your sleep begins improving, you may even choose to skip evenings and return to it only when your body feels tense or overstimulated. Allow this practice to remain flexible so it complements your natural sleep cycle rather than replacing it. To enhance its soothing influence, many women pair Kava with simple evening cues that help the body transition into rest. Dimming lights, taking a warm bath, or spending a few minutes stretching or breathing slowly can deepen the effect, signaling to the nervous system that the day is closing gently. These supportive habits amplify Kava's calming qualities and help retrain the brain to associate bedtime with comfort rather than alertness. Although Kava is generally considered safe in small, occasional amounts, it is not suitable for everyone. Women with liver conditions, those taking liver-metabolized medications, or individuals sensitive to herbal supplements should avoid it unless guided by a healthcare professional. This precaution protects long-term well-being and ensures that the practice remains a nurturing choice rather than a risky one. In the next section, we will bring everything together into a simple, step-by-step, nightly ritual that you can begin with confidence, allowing your body to ease into rest with greater trust and comfort. Introducing Kava into your evening should feel gentle, safe, and respectful of your body's natural rhythm. Rather than making it a strict nightly requirement, think of it as a calming support you slowly invite into your routine while observing how your system responds. A gradual introduction allows your nervous system to adjust without pressure, making the experience more nurturing and sustainable. In the first stage, begin with the mildest form of kava, ideally a light tea blend enjoyed in a small cup about 30 to 45 minutes before bedtime. Try this only a few nights during the week rather than every night to give your body time to show you how it reacts. Your only focus here is gentle observation notice, whether your muscles begin to soften more easily, whether your breath deepens, and if your sleep feels a little more continuous. To support the calming effect, pair your cup with just one soothing cue, such as dimming the lights, listening to soft music, or lighting a candle to signal to your nervous system that the day is settling. As your body becomes more familiar with this new ritual, you may gradually deepen the experience the following week. Keep the same mild tea or gently strengthen the brew if your body welcomed it, but avoid jumping to concentrated extracts at this point. Use kava on several evenings, allowing a supportive practice to accompany it. Perhaps a warm shower, a few minutes of stretching, slow breathing, or quiet reading. These additions are not meant to add tasks, but to help anchor a sense of safety and comfort so your body can release tension more fully before sleep. Keeping screens away during this time is especially helpful as digital stimulation can interfere with the calming chemistry you are creating. As your routine settles, allow yourself to personalize it. Some women find that kava feels best on nights when the body carries more tension or the mind feels stirred, while others enjoy it as part of a consistent rhythm a few evenings each week. Let your body guide the frequency rather than making it an obligation. The most important goal is that this ritual feels nourishing, flexible, and kind to your system. If at any time your sleep improves on its own, feel free to reduce usage and let your natural rhythm lead. Each woman's body responds differently, and this gentle approach honors those differences. Kava is generally safe in small occasional amounts, but women with liver conditions, those taking liver-metabolized medications, or anyone sensitive to herbal supplements should avoid it unless guided by a healthcare professional. As you've seen throughout this video, the difficulty many women face at night is not a personal failure or lack of willpower. It is a natural response to hormonal shifts that change the way the brain and body unwind. When progesterone and GABA decline, the nervous system needs more intentional support to transition into rest. Approaching your evenings with gentleness rather than frustration creates a healthier relationship with sleep and emotional well-being. Kava is not a magic cure, nor should it become a nightly dependence. It is one supportive tool that, when used mindfully, can help your body remember how to relax, soften, and stay asleep with greater ease. The most meaningful progress comes from consistency, self-awareness, and honoring your body's pace. Start slowly, listen closely, and choose what feels nourishing rather than forced. Thank you for spending your time with me today. If this video brought you clarity or comfort, I would be grateful if you subscribed, shared it with another woman who may need it, and left a comment so I know you were here. Your presence and engagement help this community grow into a place of calm, science-based support for women around the world. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.